back kind of on schedule. For all my coffee drinkers out there, I got a little secret, little thing for you to try it's been my favorite lately. I'm going a little milk, and then the secret ingredient is some maple syrup. You know, I got that Maple Joe in there. Just a little splash. Instead of sugar, get that natural hitter, and then French press it up. This is a French press, I think, yeah. And boy, a little stir. Some good stuff, boy. I've gone in phases with my coffee drinking thoughts. You know, I think for everybody, when you start drinking coffee, you have to drink it. You have to drink it with milk and sugar. Nobody can just go straight to black unless you're a psychopath. But that's how you kind of, dip your toe into the coffee world, is always a little milk, little sugar. And then for me, it was like slowly but surely, little less milk, little less sugar, until finally, that you took pride in, no, I'll just have it black. Nah. It's like a manly thing. Yeah, no sugar, no cream. You like relished when someone would ask, you need cream and sugar? No, I'm good. Just black's fine. And I still, it's some good coffee. Don't get me wrong. I'll still do it black occasionally. But then I kind of, over some time, been like, well, black's good. Don't get me wrong. But with milk and sugar is a little bit better, And if I'm going to drink a big cup of coffee, a cup of Joe, I'd like to enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? If I get espresso now, a little Portuguese espresso action, where you're paying for some true pure coffee, if you're putting milk and sugar in that, then go kick rocks. But a cup of Joe, boy, that's nice. That's nice. Try that maple syrup too. Shit goes hard. But, yeah. Yo, welcome to Living for a Living with your boy, Joey Bradley.
Living for a living, baby. How you doing?
I think I forgot the intro last time. I was a little rusty. Still am a little rusty, but, man, I realized last night I like to play this game with myself, where I tell myself I'm not going to go buy beer and cigarettes, or I'm not going to go out at night. And then I wait and I see how close to 9 p.m. I can get before I actually go to the store to buy some beer. And last night I think was a record. I think I left the house at like 8:54. It's like a 5-minute walk. You get in there, you got no time for decision making. You know what you're going to get. Got a couple seltzers. Couple like Mexican style beers. That's been my thing lately. I'm used to be IPA guy, still am an IPA guy. But lately, the seltzer, boy, and then a Mexican beer with a lemon in it. It's like you're not really drinking. And I know I said I'm getting back to myself, and I am. And I think it's more of a mindset than an actions thing, to be honest. And I'm going to talk about that a little bit more as we go forward. But last night I was, it's not like I even want to go out. At this point, it's just habit and a answer for boredom. It's the habitual answer for boredom. I could make clips. I could edit some old stuff. I could get creative. I could read. I could do all of that. But I'm choosing not to, even though deep down I think I want to. And so anyway, I was like, well, yeah, I'm not going to go out, but let me at least go. I'd like to have a seltzer. Just It was a beautiful night last night, which has become an excuse to drink here in Finland. And I was like, just a seltzer would be nice. Maybe smoke a cigarette or two. And so as soon as I get back, I get a text from my buddy Kale. And he says, hey, bro, you want to go grab a beer? I got some stuff I got to get off my chest. And I was like, damn you, Scuba Steve. I'm trying not to, and I'm just getting hooked into it. And I said, yeah, man, but I don't want to go to the bar. Let's just go to the park across my street. Sun was setting. We went to a nice spot, had a cute little romantic man date, had a couple beers, explained our last week's activities and thoughts. And it was nice. It was a good little evening. And then, of course, I got to ruin it. I think maybe we had 2-3 beers while we were out there, having a good flow, good vibe of the night. I'm like, well, fuck it, bro. Let's go check out the bar. But I got to go home and eat first. So came home, made some wings. And I knew, the wings were taking a long fucking time to make. And I knew I didn't even really want to go out. But lo and behold, we did. And just, it sucked. After going from a good conversation in a peaceful location to the bar, getting randomly approached by not random people, but having to have conversations that I don't want to have, man, and I'm getting... I can't fake it anymore, man. I realized, too, before when I was going out all the time, I was pretty fucked up while I was going out. Because I'm having probably similar conversations that I was having 3 months ago. Right now, I can't fucking stand them. And I have, no patience for them. It's just talking to talk. And I'm like, bro, I don't know how many times I can say, oh, uh-huh, that's crazy. And then look at my phone before somebody gets a hint bro, I don't care about this fucking festival in Ohio that you're talking about right now. I don't want to go. I don't want to talk about it. So, unlike what I would normally I'd just double down on the shitty night and get fucked up. I was looked at Kale, I was like, let's call it a night. We got out of there. We were there for an hour and salvaged what was a very, very nice night. That's just the thing, after living in Lisbon and Barcelona and even Gdynia, because of the 3 cities all being close to each other, and spending time in Prague and stuff, I've realized, man, I think I gotta get into back into a bigger city. Because after a year plus here, it's you kind of just realize it's the same people at the same places at the same time over and over and over again. And I'm one of the people. And I'm kind of tired of being one of the people. And, it's with the bigger cities, there's a couple more spots to venture, a couple more people here and there. But I mean, it's crazy though how the universe works. And that's probably, I haven't said those words in a long fucking time, boy. But it is crazy how the universe works. It's weird, man. I've gotten so I don't know if you've listened to this podcast since episode 1 or from the beginning, if you listen to some way back or watch the vlogs and stuff like that, I'm a big universe guy. I still am. But as I've mentioned, getting outside of myself, even though I don't know what the right way to say it is, because that's still myself. Like even the last 3-4 months that I haven't been feeling quote unquote like myself, that still is a side of myself. You know, it's like, I think we like to dismiss ourselves when we're not feeling the best and like make the excuse of, oh, that's not me. Nah, motherfucker, that was me. That's just the other side of me that I still appreciate and you still need, you know. But I haven't talked too much about the universe in a while. And I almost like, it's like I was getting a little negative in a sense of when I'd hear someone else talk about the universe, I'd be like, oh, fucking hey, this shit, you know? Even though deep down I'm like, yeah, I believe it too. But just like, I don't know. And so just getting, like I said, the universe works in mysterious ways. And last week, as I mentioned, like getting back to myself, you know, back in the gym, eating good, all these things. Even though Kale roped me into going out last Wednesday too, and it was a fun night. But again, like I said, I think it's more the mindset than it is actually the actions. But it's just interesting what happens, and I was reminded very quickly that, yeah, you're on the right track. Given a confirmation that, like, yep, this is what you need to be doing, motherfucker. From the universe, from God, from whoever you want to call it. And had some very nice conversations. An incredibly refreshing couple days. And it was nice. It was a good reminder. It was like this weird, sometimes you can have a conversation with someone or meet somebody that either reminds you of someone else or reminds you of yourself. And, I got to have that, and that was nice. And it was just a nice little, I'm repeating myself, a nice little confirmation or reminder that, like, yep, you're on the right track. You're supposed to be doing this. It is as it should be, and the timing is always right to go into the hippie stuff. I got to tell my first time doing acid story. Basically, anytime I can get into a conversation with someone and I can tell the full story of the first time I did acid, which once I leave Finland, I'll put that back on YouTube. If you go back to, I don't know what episode it's in, but it's in one of the episodes, so go find that. Listen to every episode to do that. Anytime I tell that story to somebody, normally that somebody is a good vibe, a good connection. I've never thought about that, but reflecting on it now, if I think back to the people that I've told that story to personally, like, that's a good sign. And I'll put it this way, I haven't told that story in a long fucking time. If that's any indicator for some connections or lack thereof I've felt, I've been making or not making. Yeah. And it's just, man, it's nice to feel heard, and it's nice to be listened to. And so with that said, like, I appreciate everybody who really listens to this. The numbers are still growing despite taking the month off the coma. I really appreciate you listening, because that's something, it's hard actually for me to really understand that you are listening, because I'm just talking to this camera right now. But then, having these conversations that I did the last week, and even last night talking to Kale, we're both sharing stories and experiences and stuff. And I can tell he's listening to me. I'm truly listening to him. And man, it feels good to be heard. And so thank you. Thank you for listening. And I don't know. It was a reminder for me that for the people that I care about to really try to listen to them when they're talking. Yeah, I think I do a decent job of that. But now more than ever, I think I'm a little more phone distracted and that kind of stuff. Where like the undivided attention, man, that shit really feels good. Like getting that attention really feels, I mean, like I had to go to the dentist on Monday, which I don't know when the last time I was in the dentist. I'm sorry, Mom, my teeth are fucked. My mom was like super strict when I was young and like would always make me get out of bed and brush my teeth when I'd like at night, and I'd be super mad about it. And so I naturally did what anybody would do, and I rebelled by as soon as I moved out of the house. I never brushed my teeth, and I'd just get super fucking high at night and eat 3 boxes of gummy candies and then fall asleep, which led me to get like 6 cavities in a year or something. Yeah, after my junior college season, my second junior college season, so I'd been on my own for a year and a half, but that whole season my teeth were fucking killing me, bro. And so to the point where I was taking like 2 or 3 Tylenol every like 4 to 6 hours for like 2 months straight, which I do not recommend at all because that gave me acid reflux. I was also smoking a ton of weed, so my appetite wasn't great. Also eating Taco Bell and McDonald's constantly. Like, I don't know how I survived, man. And so I think I like got a stomach infection or something at the time too. And this was like as I'm getting recruited, and I lost so much weight because I like wouldn't eat for the teeth. Also because of the lack of appetite and the stomach infection and the acid reflux. Because the acid reflux made it so like I couldn't even eat that much. And so I went on these Division I football visits, and I was weighing like 140 pounds, 145 pounds. I mean, I probably finished the season at like 160, 150, you know, like I was skinny, boy. It's not like I'm big now anyway, but like I was skinny, and like I looked damn near like a crackhead with my fucking shirt off, like looking back now. And on one of the visits, I'm pretty sure the coaches thought I was a crackhead. To my visit to Idaho State, it was nice though because it was winter at the time, and so like I could wear long johns and jeans, hide the skinny legs, and I wore this big puffy jacket, you know, under like a sweatshirt, so you couldn't tell how skinny I was. But at Idaho State, they could tell because they got me on the scale. Yeah, and I think it came back like 143. And the trainer just looked at me like, what the fuck? Like, here's this supposed Division I quarterback that we're recruiting that my 13-year-old daughter weighs more than. And I explained, you know, the situation about what I just told you. And then I ended up not going out like the Saturday night or whatever on my visit because I felt like shit. Like I was sick. And they for sure thought I was like having crack withdrawals or something. I knew one of the coaches on the staff because he'd coached at a quarterback camp when I was in high school. And he like brought me some Gatorades and stuff and some like little food or something. And he's like, bro, is that everything all right? Like, you need to tell me like, real concerned. And I appreciate him super, super much for doing that. But I was like, no, man, it's just what I told you. And like, I could just see the look in his eye. Like, okay, buddy. And on the way to the airport, that coach was like, yeah, so we're not going to be offering you mid-year. We'll offer you at the end of next semester, but we need to bring in a guy who's ready to compete right now. And I didn't want to go there anyway. I wasn't going to go there, but I was like, oh, okay, no worries, coach. So it was all fine, but then when I went on my trip to North Dakota, I just thought to myself, like, do not get on a scale. I think I was almost plotting in my head, like, okay, I can wear it, like, maybe if I bring weights to put in my pockets in case I have to get on a scale. But luckily, they never weighed me at North Dakota, and there I went. But no, the whole point of me saying that was I went to the dentist because my teeth have been fucking with me. This one tooth is a quarter of a tooth, although now it's a whole tooth. I thought it was fucked up to the point I thought they were going to have to pull it. And in the past, I can normally like go like a week or two of some pain, and then it goes away, and I'm all right, or I get used to it. I'm not sure. But this tooth was like keeping me awake like for 3 or 4 nights in a row. I was like, I want to pull this thing out, which ironically, we have a dude on the team from Poland who's like pulled 2 or 3 of his teeth out. I mean, the boy's got a half grin, to say the least. I fucking love Bart. But I didn't want to do it the Polish way. So I went into the dentist, and yeah, the whole point of me saying this is like, it like felt good, even though these people are like drilling in my teeth and, you know, giving me Novocaine and that kind of shit. But I just have 2 people that care about me, you know, care about this tooth, not so much me, but insequentially me. And I was like, damn, it like feels good to have this attention. And I was thinking like back, I listened to the Theo Von podcast, and he always talks about like, yeah, it's kind of nice to be in the hospital because like people care. I was like, I never thought about that because I've never really been in the hospital, and I'm like scared to go in the hospital. I try and stay out of that. But I was like, I kind of get what he means right there. You know, I kind of get what he means. But I like laugh. I was like, damn, that's kind of sad, bro. But also kind of funny. I mean, shit, dude, the saddest things and like the best stories are always from the shittiest times normally, you know? Or because you've been able to turn the emotion around, you know, from sad or when you go insane. Like my favorite stories to tell are like right before I moved to Europe, and I was like going fucking insane because my girl played me and yada, you know, like it's a fucking great story to tell at this point because now it's like I've came around and I've triumphed over the defeat, you know, if you want to call it that. But no, dude, the teeth are back. I got to go back in. The dentist was like, well, do you want to just pull it or do you want to save it? And I was like, well, you tell me, bro. Like, can we save it? I figured it was shit out of luck. There's only about half a tooth there, 2/3 of a tooth there. He's like, I think we can save it, but if not, then we'll pull it. All right, cool. Because I'm the half tooth expert, bro. I had that same thing. I don't know how. I mean, this my far back right tooth is literally just the root now. You can feel just a little stump poking out. It went from a quarter of a tooth to a half of a tooth. And then when I was in Poland like 3-4 years ago, we were at this little like speed raceway thing, and it was fucking with me. I always had to like, dude, I can't believe it. Girls dated me at this time. Because like after I would eat, like food would always be stuck there. And so I'd go like, to like suck the food out of there. Yeah, what the hell? Fucking idiot bitches, bro. No, I'm just joking. But I was like, the tooth was hurting, and so I was like wiggling it, and then all of a sudden just, and I'm like, oh fuck. Pull out, and I got that half a rotten tooth just chilling in my hand with a little blood. And my Polish homie looked over next to me and was like, "Is that your tooth?" I was like, "Yeah, bro." He's like, "Oh my God, I'm going to throw up." I was so happy to get that half a tooth out. And now it's so funny to go into dentists and just see their reaction to that thing. Because like I'm lucky that it like never got infected or something. Because this tooth that I just had now had the reason it was hurting, he said like the infection was super deep. So it took him a while to clean that out and antibiotic it up. But just watching dentists' reactions to like this little stumpy tooth in the back and just seeing their mind wander of like, how fucked up is this guy to get to that point? But yeah, my Finnish dentist experience was really great. And I don't get then, it doesn't make sense to me why, like, I mean, I guess the dentistry is good here, but orthodontistry is just terrible or something. Because, like, the dentist was great. And Finnish people love to brag about the free health care they got, but you never hear them bragging about the dental. Because motherfuckers got some crooked-ass teeth out here. And so maybe they got clean teeth but crooked teeth. Like I said, maybe orthodontics. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Maybe that ain't big out here. Because I haven't seen one Finnish person with braces, now that I think about it. And you see a lot of people out here doing the no-tooth smile. Just the little... This one, my mom does that because she doesn't like her teeth. Although she got new teeth, actually, I think, now. So, yeah, she hits it with the pearly white smile now. But you see a lot of motherfuckers out here just no-tooth smiling it up. That's because they got some shark teeth behind those lips, boy. And so, man, if you're a parent, maybe braces aren't a thing here. Give your little whippersnapper some braces. Let him suffer some pain at 8 to 10 years old. So that way, when he gets older, he can smile with those pearly whites. Because that matters. There's such a, I don't know, there's such a difference between like half smiling and full smiling. A lot of people half smiling out here. I'm telling you, showing some teeth, that's a luxury, boy. I had braces, I don't know how long. Couple years, and I had the retainer, and then I lost my retainer at Peter Becker's house while I think we were in barrels, like rolling down a hill, and it fell out of my pocket. Never saw that motherfucker again. For whatever reason, I never got a new one. So my teeth are slowly going back to being fucked up. I had a bad overbite. I still kind of got a little one. My bottom teeth are shark teeth. You know, like you only got to do braces on the top. You know, and then they learn to only smile with the top teeth. I'm not smiling like this because the bottoms are looking real Finnish. But the tops, they're all right. So, yeah. What else we got? Damn, we're at 30 minutes in, damn near. Did you see? I'm rocking the stash right now. Boy, I love rocking the stash too. And once I kind of go in cycles with the beard. Once it gets hot enough that the beard is annoying, then we cut it all off and go just straight stash. And it just feels good to have your face free. Feel the wind. And I'll see dudes rocking the full beard during a hot summer. And I'm like, damn, bro, you must think you're really ugly. Because beards are kind of like makeup for dudes. You know, they can make a ugly dude look pretty decent. You know, and I feel like I can't go just straight no makeup. You know, I need a little bit of hair above my lip. You know, I need like a little bit of eyeliner, basically. But other than that, I can rock the French look, all natural, little eyeliner. But then I can also get dolled up with a big beard, boy. Get you wetting your seat up. But no, one thing I like about out here in Finland is like mustaches aren't looked at as like this hipstery thing. Like in the States, you're only allowed to have a mustache if one of your kids hates you or you're coaching baseball. Those are like the two ways that you're allowed to have a mustache without it being looked at as ironic. Anybody under 30 or under 35 who has a mustache in the States, it's like, oh, what are you fucking listening to Mumford Sons on your way to Urban Outfitters right now? And I guess I do like Mumford Sons, and I do go to Urban Outfitters sometimes, so I fall into that category. But I just like a mustache. It's a good look. It's nice. It's like, yeah, I'm keeping it clean down low, but I'm still a fucking man up above this lip, baby girl. And out here, it just seems like people rock a mustache just because it's like, it's one of the options on the character selection. I'd like to cut my hair, actually. I've been having this thing about, I haven't cut my hair since 2000, and I mean cut it like buzz it. I've been kind of having this little thought in my mind to like just starting over, resetting, but also the hairline's kind of receding a little bit. I don't know if I got another 5 years to grow it back out long, because I feel like myself more with long hair. I will say that. Because last time I buzzed it was like 2014. Yeah. It was my senior year. My hair was pretty long. My beard was as long as it had been ever in my life. And we started the football season 0-2 with 2 losses. And I'm superstitious, or a little stitious. So, okay, 0-2. It's time to change it up. I buzzed that shit, cut the beard off, cut everything off, came back in. Everyone was like, what the fuck? For sure going through a mental crisis myself during that 0-2 start of my senior year after not starting for 2.5 years. And then we lost the third game. So I truly regretted that decision, and I said, well, I will never fucking cut my hair because we lose a football game again. That's one of the dumbest fucking mistakes I've ever made in my life. But no, I'd like to at least trim it and like get it maybe as short as possible with still being able to put up into a bun or like a little, put it up. But my issue is I really only let my mom cut my hair or a girl that I'm dating, and neither one of those are happening right now. So I'm shit out of man. Think about the amount of money I've saved over the last 7 years. I guess I don't feel as bad than buying some cigarettes now, because the money I've saved on haircuts probably spent on cigarettes the last year. But yeah, Mom, when I get home, I'm gonna need a hair trim real quick. We're gonna have to stop at Chipotle on the way home from the airport, and then I need a haircut as soon as we get to the crib. And yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to going home for the first time in a while. The dollar and the euro are damn near the same price, which actually I don't like, because the nice thing about getting paid in euros is then you go home and normally you have a couple extra $100. But part of me likes like to tell that to the arrogant Europeans of like, yeah, the euro and the dollar are worth the same. And it ain't like the dollar's going up at all. The dollar's down. The euro is just really fucking down. Like, really down. And, it's just kind of, I just like seeing people kind of get shit tossed back in their face after they've talked it. Because listen, I know the U.S. has its flaws, and I'm more than willing to talk about them, which I'm going to do here in a little bit. But it's always funny to me when I just run into a non-American that's just so fucking arrogant about the U.S. and about Europe and compared to the U.S. It's like, buddy, you still got your problems here, pal. It ain't all rainbows and pots of gold out here. Like, it kind of seems lately that, like, the arrogance from Europeans right now in 2020 is the same arrogance that Americans had in, like, 2010s, maybe 2000s. And I'm sure at some point it'll flip because everything goes in cycles. You know, right now Russians aren't feeling too great about what they're doing, similar to maybe how the Germans had to feel for a while. Chinese, I don't know what the hell's going on with them. The Chinese are fixing to take over. I don't know. I'm for sure gonna my kid is gonna learn Mandarin. Because it may not be his generation, but that way at least he can teach his kids it. And so by the time that the Xi Ping fucking dynasty takes over the U.S., we'll at least have a chance to survive, or at least a chance to join forces. I think I just read something. Chinese over the last year have bought like 60 billion worth. 6 or 6 billion, 6 or 60, I don't know. Both are big numbers. A lot of money worth of real estate in the U.S. over the last year. They're just waiting. Boy. But the one thing I guess I'm not stoked about going back to the States is like just being thrusted back into some of the insanity that constantly just plagues American minds right now. You know, the Roe v. Wade thing. And I kind of like came around with the Roe v. Wade thing because I've talked about it on here before. I'm pro-choice. I think there definitely needs to be a cutoff date at some point. I think maybe there should be a strike limit for how many abortions you get. I don't think it should just be like your hobby that you do on Sundays. You know? But also I think it should be a thing that's allowed to do. And so, you know, when people were freaking out about it, I was like, well, it's not like they're making it illegal. They're just putting it back to the states' rights. And I was thinking, well, and most of the states, I think, all have rules in place for, 8 weeks, 10 weeks, whatever. But then I see that, certain states are like, nope. Straight up illegal, banning it. And I'm like, oh, yeah, that's an issue. That's definitely an issue. I don't even know because I don't think about the whole, like, when's the right time? When does it become a being? When does it become a human? I don't even think about it from that scientific point of view. Because there's always going to be an argument and a counter argument. I just think about it as the best solution from a common sense, middle ground decision-making point of view is I don't know when you can find out when you're pregnant. Let's say it's 6 weeks. Let's say it's 8 weeks. Let's say it's 10 weeks. Whatever the number is, and I'm sure everybody's different and all that stuff. My feeling is like I think you should have a month to decide after you've figured out and found out that you're pregnant. So say, I think the first trimester is 13 weeks. I'm like cool with if you wanted to go off that script, let's say you find out at 6 weeks, 8 weeks, then you got another month, 5, 6, 7, 6 weeks to figure out, do you want it or not? Because to me, it's not even, like, once it gets past that point, yeah, maybe it's a kid and all that stuff. But I don't know. I think a month is enough time to make that decision and to like get your shit in a row and get it in a line. You know, I don't know if, and then of course if the mother's in trouble and the baby did it, all that stuff. Yeah. There's always exceptions to the rules, but that's my feeling on it. But I've kind of changed tune a little bit, because at first I was like, man, people are just making a big deal out of nothing. And then I was like, oh yeah, I guess Missouri, Mississippi, like those places are just saying fuck it. I mean, you could go on a little road trip to make it happen. Go on a road trip to Colorado, kill that motherfucker as soon as it comes out of the womb. But yeah, like that one's a little weird, not gonna lie. Then we got I gotta say, dude, Joe Biden is the funniest president ever. Like, Trump was probably, it's like, I feel like presidents right now are just comedians in disguise. I mean, Zelensky was a comedian before he became president, so he's not even in disguise. But Biden's hilarious, bro. Trump was hilarious too, but like Trump kind of knew he was funny in a way, and he was trying to be funny. Biden is just unintentionally hilarious. Like I said, I mean, he just, 79-year-old should never be running the country. Thinking about my dad, who's doing better, but has had some, early confusion, dementia, Alzheimer's, whatever it is, I'm not sure, problems. Where I see my dad in Biden. I see him starting a sentence and getting to the middle of the sentence and going, fuck, I don't know how I started this, and I don't know how I'm going to end this. So I'm just going to, come on, man. But like, this clip might be the best speech ever, like from a comedic standpoint.
America is a nation that can be defined in a single word. I was in the foothills of the Himalayas with Xi Jinping.
Excuse me. In the foothills of like, what was that word, Joe? And then like this next one's just maybe even better.
It is noteworthy that the percentage of women who register to vote and cast a ballot is consistently higher than the percentage of the men who do so. End of quote. Repeat the line.
End of quote. Repeat the line. I mean, he was killing it up to that point, though. Like, he was nailing it. And I almost blame the teleprompter right there. Like, don't give my man a fucking end of quote, repeat the line. Type the line again. If you want him to repeat it, my man's hitting the lines pretty good. Don't tell him, don't get him off kilter. Don't get him off track. Just type out what you want him to say. He's going pretty good. Oh, but Joe's fucking hilarious, bro. It's just, we're at a point of insanity, though, when we went from Trump to him as the leaders is wild, bro. So wild. It's great, though. Like, but I mean, just everything is insane. Like, I'm sure maybe you've seen this video of the law professor like giving shit to this senator on transphobic questioning during a Senate hearing. And I might have to skip to a certain point of this, but like, just, bro, look at her eyes while she's talking. And this is a professor of law at like Berkeley or something. I don't know exactly where does it say? Yeah, Berkeley. Like, this is where we're headed.
Professor Bridges, you said several times, you've used a phrase, I want to make sure I understand what you mean by it. You've referred to people with a capacity for pregnancy. Would that be women?
Many women, cis women, have the capacity for pregnancy. Many cis women do not have the capacity for pregnancy. There are also trans men who are capable of pregnancy, as well as non-binary people who are capable of pregnancy.
So this isn't really a women's rights issue.
We can recognize that this impacts women while also recognizing that it impacts other groups.
Oh my God, that smile grin combined with the eyes. We can recognize that. It's like, it's so, like, we're talking about the abortion stuff here. And somehow it's getting made into a fucking trans issue. Which all that does then is fucks it over and diverts the attention from the vast majority, the 99% of people that it's actually truly affecting. Just because we want to play these little like identity politics, fucking gender, bullshit.
Impacts women while also recognizing that it impacts other groups. Those things are not mutually exclusive, Senator Hawley.
Oh, so your view is that the core of this right then is about what?
So I want to recognize that your line of questioning is transphobic, and it opens up trans people to violence by not recognizing that.
Wow, you're saying...
Like, she's making a point about nothing that has to do with abortions and pregnancies. Like, bro, just look at the insanity in her eyes, bro.
So I think it's important
because of my line of questioning? So we can't talk about it?
Because denying that trans people exist and pretending not to know that they exist
I'm
is
denying that
dangerous.
trans people exist by asking you if you're talking about women having pregnancies?
Do you believe that men can get pregnant?
Are you? It's like, what? Bro, I mean, and I don't know. The crazy thing is like, this isn't even really a big deal, like in 99% of people's everyday life. And like, you know, all the people that make a big deal out of it have just nothing better to do for the most part. And I'm not saying it's not an issue with trans people and yada yada. It's just like, it's not this like thing that needs to like even take up 5 minutes of this fucking podcast, you know? It's like I had a conversation this weekend talking about the Nword with somebody, and I was like, I've talked about it on the podcast a few times of like getting the pass from friends and being the token white guy in my group of friends back, in college and that kind of stuff. And I feel like the main people that get so emotional about it are either white people that have never been around black people and black people that have never been around white people. For the intermediate group, that like black people that have white friends and white people that have black friends, like it's not as big of a deal as the media makes it into. And then the two sides that have just no alternate perspective of the other side besides what the media makes it out to be, because to the white person that has no experience ever talking to a black person, all they see on the media is thugs and this and that. And for the black person that has no experience talking to a white person, all they see is like KKK and racist and this and that. And so that's the perception of each other. And so it's like, but the reality is it's much more middle ground. And especially for those people that live in the middle ground and have experience, like but that's the same kind of thing I think with this. Like, I don't know. I don't think I have any trans friends. I got gay friends. I don't know if I even know any trans people, like personally. And I feel like I've met a lot of people, and I like to talk to a lot of people. And so I'm not saying my experience then represents the world. But for me to, not even know, I don't even know if I know of someone who is then friends with someone. I see them on TikTok. I see them on social media. I follow a couple. They seem super cool. But yeah, I don't know. Just this fucking.
Do you believe that men can get pregnant?
No, I don't think women can get
So you are
pregnant.
denying that trans people exist?
And that leads to violence?
Do you believe that men can get pregnant? No. So then you're denying trans people exist. Huh? Like the string of logic is just fucking wild.
Is this how you run your classroom? Are students allowed to question you?
Look at her eyes. Look at her eyes.
Or are
Absolutely.
they also treated like this, where
No,
they're
they're
told
allowed
that
to
they're
question.
opening up people to violence?
We have a good
by
time in my
questioning?
class. You should join.
Oh, I bet.
You might learn a lot.
Wow, I would learn a lot. I've learned a lot just in this exchange.
Absolutely.
Extraordinary.
Like the I don't know, I'm no psychologist, but to me, like when you can go from like a smile, like that fake smile, to just like dead face, bro, that's a fucking psychopath. Holy smokes. What else we got? I got to just share this video from TikTok that, like, it's just too good not to share. Because it's like, you know, the left, as I talked about last week, you know, I am liberal, I am feminist, but both extreme sides of it, the extreme left, have hijacked those terms to make it something that I wouldn't identify myself as at all. And so it's just the ultimate, like, snake eating its tail. And this video is just too good. I got to share it. This is the woke versus racists. Different excuses, but same beliefs.
Brad first met, I didn't think we'd get along, but turns out we kind of agree on everything. Your racial identity is the most important thing. Everything should be looked at through the lens of race.
Jinx, you owe me a Coke. We both have a lot of opinions about people of color, even though we barely know any.
I say colored people, but as long as we're classifying them, we both think minorities are a united group who think the same and act the same.
And vote the same. You don't want to lose your black card. Sorry, I don't know. I just think we should
Roll back discrimination laws so we can hire based on race again. Jinx, now you owe me a Coke. Hey, tell them what you told me yesterday.
White actors should only do voices for white cartoon characters.
I've been saying that for years. Stick to your own.
Us white people, we have so much privilege.
I agree. It is a privilege to be white. Ask him about interracial dating.
All I said is that black men who date white women have internalized racism, and white men that date ethnic women are fetishizing them.
Guys against interracial dating now. Like, am I being pranked?
Bro, that's so good. That's so fucking good, bro. Oh, that's so good. But yeah, even, I mean, on the one last thing regarding that court thing and just the insanity that's plaguing us with all these identity things and yada yada yada, is Webster, like the dictionary thing, has literally changed the definition of the word girl. Where before it was a female child from birth to adulthood, a daughter, a young woman. And now it is, first one is a female child from birth to adulthood, but then the second definition for it is a person whose gender identity is female. Like, go read 1984, boy. We're changing the definitions. We're changing history. Newspeak at its finest. I don't see how it ends well. Like, I am not hopeful for humanity as a whole. I'm very hopeful for myself. But as a whole, it ain't looking good, baby. Where do we go from here? I'd like to get off. I was going to talk about fucking vaccines and I mean, dude, it's crazy to me. Like, where I go and eat lunch a couple times a week, the vaccine station is right next door to it. And seeing people still going to get the vaccine right now is absolute insanity in my brain. Like, the documents have came out. It's 20% effective for like the first month, and then after the first month or two, like basically nothing. Yet people are still lining up to do it. And it's like, and then you see the mask wearers still and this and that, and it's like, damn. And it's hard. I wonder how it is in the States. You know, I don't know. But it's hard here because in Finland, like for the most part, you don't really notice it that much. Like you see the mask driver every now and then. You see the masked person in the supermarket occasionally still and that kind of stuff. And I try to give them the benefit of the doubt and think like, well, maybe they're feeling sick, so that's why they're doing it. Because I don't know now. The science, I think, says at first it was only you had to wear it to help everybody else. Now I think the science says it helps you if you wear it. I think that means that it's full of shit. Or it probably helps a teeny bit both ways. But, like, I don't know. At this point, if you're still worried about COVID, you are choosing to be worried and fearful about it. So it's like, guys will get it on the team. My friends will get it. And it's just like, oh, yep, so-and-so has COVID. Okay, yeah, he'll be back in a couple days. Maybe a week. It's basically the cold or the flu, kind of. How we used to think of that. Like this, I don't know, do I have... Oh. I don't know. It's just people, they've made it their identity. And I saw a tweet from one of my buddies drop out that he said political agendas convince one side to be afraid of the illness and the other side to be afraid of the cure. The reality, neither is that serious, and you're all brainwashed. And that's a pretty damn good one to me. Because I wouldn't say I'm more afraid, I guess, of the vaccine as a whole than I am the virus as a whole. But either one, personally speaking, I'm not afraid of either one. I think if I got COVID, I'd be all right, probably. And honestly, if I got the vaccine, I'd probably be all right. But if the vaccine is then to protect against the virus that I think I'm going to be all right for, then it just seems unnecessary to me. That's like my line of thinking. And then my one other meme that I saw this week that just I got to share is like maybe I am an NPC. Then the next, no. Having the same opinions as celebrities and major corporations while repeating every media talking point verbatim is what real people do. I love that one. That one's good. What else? Okay, all right. Switching gears to end on a lighter note, fun note. Talking about a little bit of music. It's to get. This is how I know I'm getting back connected to the universe. It's like, bro, music is like such more of a powerful thing than people give it credit for. Because it's ultimately at its core like vibrations and frequencies that are then affecting us. And if you don't believe in that, then you don't believe in science, because that's proven science, actually. And the same, it's like that shit can affect you one way or another. You know, you never, how many people do you know that listen to sad music all the time that are the happiest people you know? Or how many people listen to death metal all the time and are super upbeat? And vice versa. How many people listen to happy music all the time and are sad motherfuckers? It just normally doesn't happen that much. And so I think it affects you in one way or another. Same way, like, you know, people give astrology and all that stuff, they get on that for being bullshit, which I'm sure there's some bullshit to it. But my whole thing is, according to science, if the moon can then control the tides, large bodies of water, affecting them in and out, and we're supposedly made up of 70-ish% water, wouldn't then it be somewhat rational to think that the moon could have an effect on us to a degree? You know, that's like considered blasphemy to some people and conspiracy and all that shit. But again, maybe that's just my line of thinking. But no, back to music. I've, over the last maybe like 4 or 5 years, once I kind of figured out how much music can impact me, I've kept a very similar playlist, and I'll add a song here or there. I used to always be about, I want to listen to the new stuff and figure, be the hipstery of like, yeah, I knew them before they got big, like J. Cole and Dom Kennedy and Nipsey Hussle. Like, that was the time where I was really into that shit, and I knew about all those guys. But now I'm kind of in this mode of like, well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. If like this song and this playlist is giving me good vibes and yada yada, then all right, let's keep it the same. But then I've also been kind of venturing out and thinking, I kind of want to listen to some stuff I listened to in the past. I talked about the mixtapes a few episodes back. But dude, I've been going back and listening to just some albums. And I might be biased because I grew up in this time. But dude, mid-2000s, early 2000s rap and hip-hop was the best time ever for music. Or hip-hop especially. Nowadays it seems like just music in general is much more like aimed at impacting you negatively one way or another. I'm sure back then it was a little bit too, but I feel like over the last 20 years that like knowledge has grown more, at least more mainstream. And so, bro, lately I've been bumping Get Rich or Die Trying by 50, classic. Country Grammar by Nelly, classic. The Blueprint by Hove by Jay-Z, and Stillmatic by Nas. It's like, dude, so sick and like so good. I had the Nas concert story of going there and that's I haven't gone to many concerts recently either. I mean, I haven't been in the States and all concerts been canceled for COVID and that stuff, but actually Limp Bizkit's going to be here next Thursday for Kuopio Rock, and I'm trying to go see that. Fucking keep rolling. That was another one grew up on. Get the backwards red Yankees hat. Fred Durst. But yeah, I've seen some good concerts now that I like wrote out what I've seen. I saw Nas back in like 06. I saw Kanye in like 06 or 07. That was like before he became Yeezy. And man, he puts on the best show, best concert for sure. Chance the Rapper during acid rap time. I saw Bone Thugs and Harmony when I was like 11 or 12 at some concert thing, and that was like right after Bush sent the troops to Iraq after 9/11, and Bone Thugs and Harmony had everyone in the crowd, put your motherfucking middle fingers up, fuck George Bush. That was, yeah, what I saw at 11 years old. Bone Thugs smoking blunts, drinking Henny on the stage. It was pretty cool. Saw Lil Wayne in 2010. My first concert ever was Britney Spears. I've gotten to be backstage at Summer Jam like three times, I think. Seen like Ja Rule, Ashanti, Method Man, Redman, Twista. Met Cam Chancellor backstage at one of the Summer Jams. And like I'd done my research. I knew he was going to be there. I had a Cam Chancellor jersey. I got him to sign that shit. That was a cool little claim to fame. But I was just thinking now too, like what I don't even know what concert I'd want to go see of anyone current right now. And so my question I leave you with to comment on, for all those 14 of you that stick around to the end, is if you could see anybody dead or alive concert, who would you see? I'm torn between either Bob Marley or Nipsey Hussle. I think Bob would win just because, like, man, Bob, like, truly changed the world in one way or another. Nipsey, I think, kind of did too in a much, maybe not the world, but he changed, like, a lot of people's outlooks on things. And so those would be my answers. What do you got? We're going to close this one out. Got a new theme song coming for the track, or for the pod. We're normally I think I'm going to start with, I don't know what we're going to do. But this is an unreleased song by my boy Colin Charles and -2. I don't know what the title's going to be. He just posted his first verse, or I don't know if it's going to be the chorus. I don't know. But this shit goes so fucking hard. I can't wait for the song to come out. Go check them out on Spotify, YouTube, Instagram, all that shit. All right. Until next time, peace and much love. Holla.